like your full attention on us. And I think that's about it. I hope you really enjoy the show. Thank you.
July 6, 1942. A few days ago, Father began to talk about going into hiding. He said it would be very hard for us to live cut off from the rest of the world. He sounded so serious, I felt scared. Don't worry, Annika. Just enjoy your carefree life while you can. Carefree? I was born in Frankfurt on June 12, 1929. Because we're Jewish, my father emigrated to Holland in 1933, but Hitler invaded Holland on May 10, 1940. 5 days later, the Dutch surrendered, the Germans arrived, and the trouble started for the Jews. Father was forced to give up his business, manufacturing products used to make jam. We couldn't use streetcars, couldn't go to the theater or movies anymore, couldn't be out on the street after 8 p.m., couldn't even sit in our own gardens. We had to turn in our bicycles. No beaches, no swimming pools, no libraries. We couldn't even walk on the sunny side of the streets. Our identity cards were stamped with a big black J, and we had to wear the yellow star. But somehow, life went on. Until yesterday. A call-up notice from the SS. My sister Margot was ordered to report for work in Germany, to the Westerbork transit camp. A call-up. Everyone knows what that means. At 5:30 this morning, we closed the door of our apartment behind us. My cat was the only living creature I said goodbye to. The unmade beds, the breakfast things on the table, all created the impression we had left in a hurry. And our destination? We walked 2.5 miles in the pouring rain all the way to 262 Prinzengraben, Father's office building. Our hiding place, the secret annex, is right behind it upstairs. Even though the Germans forced Father out, he still runs the office of Mr. Crawler and me, who've offered to help us while we're in hiding.
A rat! Shh! Mr. Frank, thank God you arrived safely.
Meep.
And Mrs. Frank, Margot, you must be exhausted. If only we known. We would have had everything all ready for you.
You've done too much already, Eve. And besides, it's good for us to keep busy. As you can see, Anne's my little helper.
I see that. Peter, come in.
Welcome, Peter. Peter Von Don, children.
Welcome to the annex.
Peter, this is Anne, Margot, and my wife, Mrs. Frank.
Mrs. Frank?
Forgive me, Peter. I'm not quite myself. I'm glad you'll be with us. I am too.
A cat. Here's a cat.
A black one.
We have one too. I wanted to bring her, but I'm sure our neighbors will take good care of her until we come back. It'll be great having a cat here. One of him would be fantastic.
Anne, dear, don't get so excited. Peter doesn't know you yet.
He'll get to know me soon, though. It'll be so much fun having people around. Like a whole other family, won't it, Margot?
Yes.
Like being on vacation in some strange pension or something. An adventure, romantic and dangerous at the same time.
What is it, Peter?
My parents. They were right behind me. 1 street away.
They'll be here.
You don't think that they were...
Don't worry, Peter. You're just like me.
Mother's always jumping at every little thing. What's its name?
Mushy.
Moosh. I love cats.
tell you. Now we're all here.
Just in time. We gotta take the long way around. There were too many police in the streets.
Welcome, Mrs. Von Don. Mr. Von Don. You know my wife, of course, and the children.
We must hurry. The workmen will be here in half an hour.
Such trouble we're causing you, Mr. Crawler. And after all that you and me have done, we arrived early.
You couldn't have left your daughter behind, Mr. Frank. Please, don't worry. We'll do everything we can to help. Now I must run and get your ration books.
But wait, if they see our names on ration books, will they know we're here?
Trust me, your names won't be on them. If you make a list every day, I'll try to bring you what you want. And every Saturday, I'll bring 5 library books.
5. I know my 5 are going to be.
And remember, there are 7 of us.
I know, Mother. It's illegal then. The ration books. We've never done anything illegal before.
I don't think we'll be living exactly according to regulations here.
Listen, the Wester's horn.
How will I ever get used to that clock?
I love it.
Me or I will be here every day to see you. We place a buzzer to say when we come up, and tomorrow we'll have that bookshelf placed in front of your door. Oh, and one more thing. The radio.
A radio? Fantastic.
The radio, thank God.
How'd you get it? We had to turn ours in months ago.
Thank you, Mr. Crawler, for everything.
And you'll remind them about the noise?
I'll tell them.
Mr. Crawler, how can we thank you? Really, how can we ever? I never thought I'd live to see the day a man like Mr. Frank would have to go into hiding.
What a journey. It's a wonder we weren't arrested. Petronella walking down the street in a fur coat, carrying a hat box in the middle of summer.
What do you need another hat for?
Oh, it's not another hat. It's... Oh, I still feel at home without my chain with Todd.
Now, everyone, a few things, quickly. Anne, sit down, please. While the workmen are in the building from 8 to 6, we must make as little noise as possible and move when only absolutely necessary. So, no shoes. We can't run any water. We can't even flush the toilet with WC. The pipes go down through the warehouse and every sound can be heard.
Wait, there's only one toilet? For all of us?
And no trash can ever be thrown out. Not even a potato peel. We'll burn everything in the stove at night. We can't go outside. We can't look out a window. No coughing. If possible, no fevers. Remember, we can never call a doctor. This is the way we must live until it is over. But after 6, we can talk, laugh, and move around just as we would at home. This will be our common room, where we meet to have supper like one family.
One family. I love that.
As Mr. Von Don and I discussed, this floor will be the Von Don home and the other the Frank home. I know your space is tiny here, but you'll be near your parents. And I'm actually glad that you brought your cat. Neat warns us that there could possibly be rats.
Rats? Oh my God.
I'm sure Mushy can take care of a few rats. Come, let's go up to the attic and bring our dishes down. All of our boxes are up there.
Oh, Mr. Frank, I don't know how we can ever thank you. If it weren't for you, I don't know what would have happened to us.
You have no idea how your husband helped me when I first came to Amsterdam. I didn't know a soul, and I was unable to speak the language. I can never repay him. And besides, he's been an excellent business partner.
Well, that's true.
God, it's hot in here.
Well, if you take this precious coat off for 1 minute, I'm sure you'll feel a lot cooler.
You rest here. Never close your eyes yesterday. Nor you, Martha.
I slept, Father. Isn't that funny? Even though I knew it was the last night in my own bed.
Oh, you. You can see through anything. Now take off your shoes before you go. You too, Peter. Shoes.
You're sure you're not too tired, Monica?
Mother, I'm fine. Hey, what are you doing?
Getting rid of it.
You can't do that. I'll arrest you if you go right to start.
Who's going out? Now I don't have to be branded.
You're right. We don't need it anymore. Remember when it started? People tried to look the other way, but their eyes always seemed to land right there.
I swear the star was the worst day of my life.
Look, it left a mark. Do you know Annalie Gosselin?
No,
Joe Bidewa?
never heard of her.
Oh, but you heard of me.
Well, your father and my father are business partners.
You heard of me. I'm famous at my school.
That's true in a way.
What do you mean?
Anne, you mustn't bother Peter.
I'm not bothering him. Mushy, mushy, mushy.
Mushy either. Tonight we'll have our first real supper together.
Thank you.
He's awfully shy.
Oh, you'll like him. I know.
I better. He's the only boy I'm going to see. My movie stars. Penny remembered. I'm going to put them right. Wait, where's my diary? I forgot to pack my pencils.
Anne, no! You can't go down those stairs.
But it was only for.
Never, Anne. One mistake could cost us our lives.
I know, Father.
But every day, either we or Mr. Crawler will bring us food, books, their precious company. They're friends, Anne. That's rare these days. The Nazis found out that they were hiding us. They will be deported as well.
Your fountain pen?
Your fountain pen now.
Oh, Pim, what a darling you are.
All those bags of beans and potatoes? Is that what we'll be eating from now on? Not much variety, is there?
Don't listen to her. What she can do with beans and potatoes, my wife's a great cook.
Lucky for us.
Even with beans, you'll see. Oh, am I going to miss those gourmet meals?
Could you stop exaggerating?
The women seem content, don't they?
You can never tell with women, but I think we'll be all right.
Mrs. Von Dam, we'll meet her at 6 and begin to prepare supper.
6 o'clock, yes.
Step away from the kitchen, Petronella. The workmen will be here any moment.
Maybe it's a mistake. All of us going into hiding together, they say it's better for families to separate. That way we're betrayed. Caught. At least the children.
The children would never have understood if we had separated. No more than we. They couldn't have known. Come. We must be quiet.
Are you all right, Margot?
I'm still shaking. Feel my hand.
Don't worry. We're here now. They can't take you away.
Yes, we're here.
Und wir dachten nun einzudrehen entschlossen sind, bis zum letzten Hauch. Dieses Deutschland, der deutsche Volksgemeinschaft aller deutschen Stämme, das Großdeutsche Reich, Sieg heil! Sieg heil!
It's the silence that frightens me most. Every time I hear a creak in the house, a step on the street, I'm sure they're coming for us. I wander from room to room, feeling like a songbird whose wings have been ripped off and who's hurling itself against the bars of its cage. Let me out, for there's fresh air and laughter. Then I remember the Jews were not hiding, and I know we live in a paradise. We're as quiet as baby mice. Who'd have dreamed Quicksilver Anne would have to sit still for hours, and once more could. At last.
What was it that you were writing in your diary of yours that was so funny? Nothing about me, I hope. Can't I take a peek?
No, Mrs. Von Dahl.
Not even a little peek?
Not even a little peek, Mrs. Von Dahl.
All right, fine. I'm first for WC.
took my shoes.
Shoes?
You took them, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're gonna be sorry.
Am I?
Definitely.
Anne!
Wait till I get you.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. Peter. You didn't know I was so strong, did you? You won't get them away from me. Uh-oh, I'm making you mad. You're getting really mad now.
Anne! Peter!
Come on, Peter, dance with me.
I don't know how.
I'll teach you.
I don't want any lessons.
Please.
I have to give Mushi a supper.
Can I watch?
He doesn't like people around the eats.
I'll be quiet. Quiet as a little mouse. He likes mice, doesn't he?
No!
You shouldn't play with Peter like that. It's not dignified.
I don't want to be dignified.
You complain I don't treat you like a grown-up. When I do, you resent it.
I just want to have some fun. What's wrong with that boy?
He's just not used to girls. Give him time.
How much time does he need? You dance with me, Margot. I have no first supper. But if we don't practice, we'll forget. All right, all right. See, everyone? Marg's the real dancer in the family. Pim! Ah, dancing. Where's Peter? In his room. His father will kill him if he catches him with that cat again.
And, darling, will you do me a favor and get Peter out of his room?
Peter! Oh, Peter!
What is it?
Your mother says to come out.
You know what your father says.
I'll feed Mushy.
Alright, just give him his supper and come right out.
Is that any way to talk to your little girlfriend?
Mother, please.
Oh, look, he's blushing.
You're crazy. She's only 13.
So, you're 16. Your father's older than I am. I tell you, Mr. Frank, if the war lasts much longer, we're liable to be related. Oh, look, I think I have a run here.
Some run.
God, I hate them.
Good evening, everyone. I'd love to stay for supper, but I'm so shy I can barely get a word.
Alright, I heard about you. How you talk so much in Mr. Kessin's class. He called you Miss Quack Quack. He made you write a composition. Quack Quack Quack's Miss Quack Quack.
Well, go on. Tell them the rest. How was so good he read aloud to our class and all his other classes.
I know about you. Always joking.
I don't always joke.
Always making fun of mocking people. Quack Quack Quack.
I don't always. The most infuriating boy I've ever met.
That's right, Anne. You give it to him.
Of all the boys in the world, I had to get locked up with.
Quack Quack Quack. From now on, stay out of my room.
Anne!
Excellent in history, Anne. And in Latin.
Veep's not here yet?
The workman only just left a little while ago.
What's for dinner?
Beans.
Again? I saw you in there playing with that cat.
He only just came down a little while ago. He's been working on his French all afternoon.
Really?
How did I get in algebra?
Oh, I think we both better give him up on algebra.
How did I do? How do you always do? Brilliant.
You might have used the subjunctive here.
Where? Mrs. Von Don, may I try on your coat?
Anne!
Of course you may. My father gave me that coat the year before he died. He always bought the best money he could buy.
Did you have a lot of boyfriends before you were married?
Anne! It's not courteous to ask personal questions.
Well, why not? I'd wrong good Myers if you keep their eyes off me.
I can imagine. Our house was always swarming with boys. I remember the summer I was 16.
Oh, God. Here we go again.
Who's talking to you?
We had a big house in Riverhaven. Those boys came buzzing like bees around the honey pot. My father was very worried with all those boys buzzing around. He'd say to me, if anything gets fresh, you tell them, remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember, I'm a lady.
Remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember, I'm a lady. Very good.
Now that's enough.
What have you got to write about that's so important all the time? How much does a 13-year-old have to say?
Just because someone's young doesn't mean they don't have anything to say. saying, Mr. Von Dawn? Please, can't I have any privacy?
Petronola, can you please tell me what possibly could be so private?
Oh, Poochie, you know how it is at that age. Everything's private, even brushing your teeth.
Well, I just hope she doesn't write anything about me in that private diary of hers.
Don't be ridiculous, really, Poochie. You're so childish sometimes.
Still haven't finished your French? You ought to be ashamed.
I know, I'm a hopeless case.
You are not hopeless. He is not hopeless. He just doesn't have anyone to help him like the girls do. Maybe you could, Mr. Frank.
Oh, I'm sure his father.
Not me. He won't listen to me.
What do you say, Peter?
Oh, Mr. Frank, you're an angel. I don't know why I didn't meet you before that one over there.
Why don't you show me which chapter you're on?
Now remember, Peter, you listen to Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank's a highly educated man.
Aren't things hard enough already without you sprawling all over the place?
Really, if you didn't smoke so much, Poochie, you wouldn't be so ill-tempered.
Am I smoking? Do you see me smoking?
Don't tell me you used up all those cigarettes.
One package. Meep only brought one package.
You're smoking up all our money.
Will you shut up? What are you staring at?
I've never heard grown-ups quarrel before. I thought only children quarreled and were off when you grew up.
This isn't a quarrel. It's a discussion. And I've never heard children so rude before.
Rude. Me. Well, I don't know how you can say that.
Anne, dear, will you please bring me my knitting? I must remember to ask meat from our wolf.
I have a library book for her to return. I need some hairpins and soap. Please, Meep, give me some starch, some tea, some biscuits, a movie star magazine. Tell us all the latest news. Meep, Meep, Meep. It's a wonder Meep has a life of her own. She knows she's engaged to someone called Jan. She's crazy about him. But terrified the Nazis will send him to Germany to work in a war plant. They do with all the young Dutchmen these days. They pick them up in the streets and...
Suppose you try keeping still for 5 minutes.
Anne, come have your milk.
Talk, talk, talk. Chatter, chatter, chatter. It's a wonder we haven't been discovered and shot. Why do you have to be a show-up all the time? Can't you be quiet like your sister Margot? Be a good girl.
Not me. I'm going to be a Marco. I'm going to Paris.
Really?
I'm going to be a famous writer, or singer, or dancer one day.
Oh my God. My coat! My precious coat!
I'm sorry.
Do you know what my father paid for this?
I'm very, very sorry.
I could kill you for this!
Petronella!
Anne, you can't behave like this.
It was an accident. Anyone can have an accident.
I'm not just talking about the coat, Anne. We're all living under great stress. But you don't hear Margot getting into arguments with the Von Dogs, do you?
Margot's perfect. She never gets into arguments with anyone.
I'm not perfect.
She's courteous. She keeps her distance and they respect her for it. Try to be more like Margot.
Have them walk over me too? No, thank you.
They don't walk over me.
Oh, yes, they do. All over you.
I'm not afraid they'll walk over you, Anne. I'm afraid you'll walk over them. I don't know what happens to you. If I ever talk to my mother the way you talk to me...
Yes, Mother. No, Mother. Anything you say, Mother. People aren't like that anymore. I can't do everything for you.
Margot doesn't do everything.
Margot, Margot. That's all I ever hear. And don't be so dramatic. Everything she does is right, and everything I do is wrong. If I talk, I'm a show-off. If I answer, I'm rude. Selfish if I eat too much. Stupid. Cowardly. A complete disappointment. I'll never live up to your expectations. I'll never be Margot.
I don't know how we can go on living like this.
You know Anne. In a few minutes, she'll be laughing and joking again.
No room. No privacy. For any of us. Ugh. Those people, the way they behave, and your father just to shut his eyes to these things. I can't even remember how life used to be. Me!
It's me.
Meep, our darling Meep.
At last.
Does everyone have their list?
I have mine.
Yeah, there's your library, Miss Darling.
Oh, Meep, that air. What's it like outside?
How are you, Mr. Crowler?
What did you do today? Who did you see? Did anyone interesting come into the office?
When meat comes, the sun begins to shine.
We missed you yesterday, Mr. Crowley. Tell us, Meep. We want to know everything.
Won't you stay for supper?
Thank you, but
figure you can't know just how bad things have become.
There's the dentist, Alfred Dessel. He's Jewish. He's been living with a Christian woman, but today he asked me if I knew a safe address. He's desperate. I told him I'd let him know.
Yes, me, absolutely. Dussel. I believe we know him.
It's great news, me.
Yes, but where is he going to sleep? There's barely enough room.
Forgive me, I spoke without consulting you.
It's just that there's so little food.
Mr. Von Don, I've tried. There's no more ration books to be had.
Where 7 can eat, 8 can eat as well.
I hope so.
If we can save even one person, we must.
Well, you're right, of course.
Yes, definitely. Mr. Crawler will meet up with him and I'll bring him up. Tomorrow. Thank you. It's fine to have him, but where are we going to put him?
You can have my bed. I'll sleep on the floor.
That's very kind of you, dear. But there's hardly enough room up there even for you.
I know. Mr. Russell can have my bed, and I'll move in with your mother.
No. Margot will move in with us, and Mr. Dussel can have her bed. It's the only way.
But why? Why can't I move in?
Because it wouldn't be proper for Margot to... Please, Anne, don't argue. It's settled.
As far as I'm concerned, Mother can go jump in a lake. I don't know why I've taken such a terrible dislike to her, but I can imagine her dying someday, while Papa's death seems inconceivable to me. It's very mean of me, I know, but it's how I feel. Who can I turn to? Only my diary. She's no mother to me. I have to become a good person on my own. But I know it will make me stronger in the end. 3.5 months in the annex, and we're eagerly awaiting our latest edition. What will he be like? Neep says he's quiet, refined, and by all accounts, an excellent dentist. He's meeting Mr. Crawler at 11 sharp at a certain place in front of the post office. It's all very exciting, and totally nerve-wracking. What if they get caught? Those last hours are the most dangerous for a Jew that goes into hiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's done.
Everything went smoothly. Mr. Dussel was at the appointed place at the appointed time. He had to wear Jan's coat over his office jacket so no one could see the